So what's up on this?
Okay, so we're kind of here, back in Ted's backyard here, North Idaho. So we basically want to talk a little bit about what the channel is about. So Ted, what do you feel like we're trying to convey to the people out there on the other side?
Well, this is kind of like the joy of snowboarding, the joy of getting out in the winter, and we've introduced people to this through our careers, and you get to see people do stuff, and it's great. Instead of entertaining you with just watch me do this, it's try to encourage you to try some things out and make your ride better and have that absolute joy of riding down the hill in the snow.
Okay, cool. So Ted said ride better. Does ride better mean you are doing it better? Does ride better mean you're technically correct? Or does ride better mean you're having a fun day? Okay. So the best example I can give you of that would be a couple of comments that we got on a feedback from viewers over the last 2 years. And what tells me that they were riding better is their comments. And the comments were, as example one, wow, couldn't believe the day that you met me and my wife out there and just gave us some tips. Those tips have enabled us to start to enjoy life together, doing a sport we didn't even know that both of us could do and enjoy. So we look forward to years of having more fun, which you introduced us to, and we just love it. So what Ted and I are basically trying to say is we're not a business. We're not after your money. We don't charge you anything. As a matter of fact, if you don't take advantage of what we're trying to give and pay forward, I think that's your mistake, not ours. You're going to find that out when you go to some of the sports schools. So Ted, for a minute, talk about how formalized a lesson can be in the fact that sometimes, you end up feeling like you didn't have fun and you're stood out being not as good as the other people. So briefly, kind of explain that.
Yeah, resorts are under time pressures. They only have snow for so long. They have a season that's so long. They have so much daylight. And they're also under pressures to hire the right kind of people. So a lot of times a lesson can end up being boilerplate, and whatever was going on in the lesson didn't talk to you, and you're just as having as much difficulty at the end as you are in the beginning. So, and that's not a lot of fun. And it hurts too.
Yeah, so I'll kind of jump in there real quick to say this. Resort areas hire instructors. So if you listen to what I said, Ted and I both know that hiring an instructor means I got a body. And areas have a tendency to say, I've got 20 instructors, but maybe only 2 of them had formal training. 18 of them have just been hired. You come in as a consumer, you won't know the difference because you bought it as a professional school. Because of the lack of number of people applying for these jobs, because believe me, we start out thinking it's a fun job. But Ted and I both got into this type of business because it was beneficial to our families. It saved us money. It put us on the hill more often. We didn't have to pay for it. We also went there to get training, finding out that when we went in, we didn't know squat, no matter how long we had been skiing or boarding. We didn't know squat. So within the system, you have 3 different levels of instructors. Well, 4. You have registered. They've had no training, except for maybe a little in-house. In-house training is getting harder to do because they're not staffed enough to be able to have that time away from you customers to be able to do that training. Then you have level 1. That's the initial start. Then you have level 2. Then you have level 3. And then you have examiner. Level 3, which sounds like the top level before an examiner, is nothing more than a license to allow you to start to think. And that comes from me after 9 years of challenge to finally get my level 3.
He's got the 3.
And what did I become? Nothing. Nothing more than I had learned already. But my ability to think outside the box was improving. And that's what Ted and I are all about. So I'm going to sign out from my side on that. Ted wants to say anything, and we'll cut this short.
One more piece there. it's still better in the balance of things to probably go take a lesson first, because the likelihood is that yes, they do know more, they should know
And your
more,
friend
and they should
who
they
left you on top of the
and
mountain
it should be helpful, yes, and
and will get you on the next run.
and it will be, yes, and and, and that in itself alone is a good reason to take a lesson. What you get out of it, it's up for grabs. It's not standardized as much as it ought to be.
All right. So we're going to sign out on that, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Tell your friends about the channel. We're excited. Get them excited. Look for the notification button and hit the like or the dislike, and stay with us. Shred ahead. We're out.